Hi, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Watch out. It is created to entertain you and help you in deciding which movie you would like to watch. But watch out, because most of them can give you real goosebumps. There are 25 movies that I will be introducing here as per when they were released. So the oldest movie on my list is The House of Mystery, number 1. It is a 1934 American pre-code mystery film directed by William Nye. The film was an adaptation of the play The Ape by Adam Hull Shirk. The story revolves around an ancient curse and a killer ape, contained inside an old dark mansion. Their story was found to be so interesting that by 1961 it was filmed 3 times. It was known in Germany as Das Landhaus des Dr. Lemming, the country house of Dr. Lemming, and because of its compact running time, aired in the US as an episode of the TV series, Kraft Mystery Theater. Sometimes a movie title gets popularity. This is what happened with my second movie, Semilla de Odio. Semilla de Odio is a 1944 Spanish movie by John Bram. The title meaning, Seeds of Hatred. The central character Anne Baxter makes life unbearable for her family when she returns home one summer. She becomes a terrible tormentor. Her illness is not physical-mental, and it has the painful consequence of making others suffer. There is another movie with the same title but a different storyline. This is an action film released in 2000. Directed by Jorge Orton, here a cruel and merciless killer teaches his children how to spread terror around town. Another movie title that got really popular is Fugitive Lovers. Number 3. It is a 1934 American pre-code comedy-drama film directed by Richard Bolslavsky. Released by Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer, it stars Madge Evans and Robert Montgomery with a supporting cast of Nat Pendleton, C. Henry Gordon, Ruth Selwyn, and Ted Healy and his stooges, who are credited as the Three Julians, in this production. In a hopeful effort to evade gangster Legs Caffey, chorus girl Letty Morris hops a bus in New York bound for Los Angeles with Legs close on her heels. Along the way the bus picks up escaped convict Paul Porter, who quickly allies himself with Letty. With the police in hot pursuit and Legs monitoring his every move with Letty, Paul is running out of both time and ideas. The title of this movie was again taken in for a different sort of a movie released in 1975. Unlike the previous one that had comedy, crime and drama in it, this one is a mystery romance where Blue Skylar is startled by the sight of a lovely young woman floating, lifeless, under the water. He jumps in, boots and all, hauling her out of the pool and reviving her. She is Tara, unhappily married to Harris Alexander, a powerful state capitol lobbyist. She has tried to end it all by gulping down pills and attempting to drown herself. Find out what happens in this mystery romance by actually watching the movie. Be careful not to get mixed up with Fugitive Lovers of 1934. Spanish thrillers have been really popular in the past. 4th. Alarma en Ciudad, translated as Alarm in the City, is a 1937 Spanish thriller that you will certainly enjoy. Boris Karloff is an inventor who creates a burglar alarm. When his project is sabotaged, he teams up with a thief to take his revenge. However, American crime horror science fiction film can be really deadly. 5th. Watch Indestructible Man, a 1956 American crime horror science fiction film, an original screenplay by V.Y. Russell and Sue Dwiggins for producer-director Jack Pollexfen and starring Lon Chaney Jr., Ross Elliott and Robert Shane. Charles, the Butcher, Benton, a brutal death row inmate gets double-crossed by his crooked lawyer. He gets his chance for revenge when, after he's been executed, a bizarre experiment brings him back to life and more deadly than ever. The French never stayed behind, and to find out watch Fetton, Les Cousins. 6th. The story is based on a pair of cousins who share a flat, but animosity begins to build between the two when a woman gets involved. Les Cousins or The Cousins is a 1959 French new wave drama film directed by Claude Chabrol. It won the Golden Bear at the 9th Berlin International Film Festival. There has always been some strange belief deformed humanoids and supernatural creations. 7th. She Demons is an interesting story in this regard. During a tropical storm, a pleasure boat is shipwrecked on an uncharted island and presumed sunk with all hands. The radio possessed by the 4 survivors can only receive but not transmit, and they discover the island will soon be used by naval aircraft as a bombing target. Finding strange human footprints and hearing the sound of drums, 3 of the party explore the island that they discover is populated by deformed humanoids who are the product of scientific experiments by a party of Nazis led by a mad scientist war criminal who rules the island. In his attempts to restore the beauty of his disfigured wife Mona Lenny Tanner, Osler has transformed numerous native women into vicious, she-demons, retaining their hot bods but wiping their minds and giving them hideous physiognomies in the process. When Jerry, captured by the Nazis, spurns Osler's amorous advances, she too is scheduled to become a she-demon. She-Demons is a 1958 American horror feature film directed by Richard E. Cunha from a screenplay co-written with H. E. Barry. The movie stars Irish McCalla, Todd Griffin, Victor Sen-Young, Rudolph Anders and Gene Roth. The film was distributed by Astor Pictures as a double feature with Cunha's Giant from the Unknown. 8th. Another fantastical creation was The Giant Gila Monster, a movie where a couple of teenagers are reported missing in a small Texas town, and it is thought they eloped. Soon it is realized that there is something wrong. Sheriff Jeff turns to his friend, Clarence Winstead, a garage mechanic and leader of a hot rod gang, for help. After a series of tragic motor accidents, it becomes apparent that a giant Gila monster is roaming the area, depleting the town of its citizens and visitors, including 2 hot rodding teens, and planning to attend the big record hop party. The Gila monster in the movie is actually a Mexican bearded lizard. This was one of 2 features produced by an independent company in Texas and meant for release as a double feature. The other feature was The Killer Shrews. Both of them were released in 1959. Unlike many such features produced in the South, these films received national distribution. In most scenes of the movie, a photographically enlarged lizard foot keeps squashing people whilst boy racers zoom about. There is some nice scenery in the movie to amuse you as you keep your eyes on the giant lizard. 9th. Killing is not easy, but for some people it is. Watch Urge to Kill, a 1960 British B-movie serial killer film directed by Vernon Sewell starring Patrick Barr, Ruth Dunning and Terence Knapp. The film is based on the novel Huey Rhodes and Play Hand in Glove, both by Gerald Savory. While making her way home from the cinema one night in a particularly grey and drab town, a young woman is murdered in an unusually brutal and sadistic manner. Local suspicion immediately falls on Huey Knapp, a strangely behaved and not very bright local youth who has a habit of wandering aimlessly around the town at all hours, randomly collecting stray bits and pieces, with a particular fondness for broken glass, which unfortunately for Huey happens to have been one of the weapons used in the fatal attack. What do you understand when I say, Living Dead? 10th. Well, my next movie, Cave of the Living Dead, is originally a German horror movie, Der Fluch der Grünen Augen, released in 1963 and directed by Orkos Roronyi. It is also titled, Night of the Vampires in the US. This movie was distributed by Richard Gordon and released under the title, Cave of the Living Dead, as a double bill with Tomb of Torture. The story is about a mad scientist and his bevy of vampires who terrorize a German village. A detective and a witch set out to stop them. 11th. Another interesting story that had a few remakes was The Bounty Killer, released in 1965. The film stars Richard Willer as a bounty killer. Escaped outlaw Jose Gomez returns to his hometown pursued by bounty killer Luke Chilson. The townspeople protect Gomez, unaware, at first, that he is now a changed and dangerous man. 12th. Let me introduce you to an Italian mystery film of 1971, La Bestia Uccide a Sangfredo, translated to Coldblooded Beast, directed by Fernando Di Leo with Klaus Kinski, Margaret Lee, Rosalba Neri, Jane Garrett. The movie has thrill and horror to offer. A rehabilitation hospital in the Italian countryside which offers treatment for women suffering from various psychological disorders is stalked by a mysterious cloaked killer. 13th. Have you ever believed in werewolves? Well, after watching this movie, Werewolves on Wheels, you will perhaps start believing in them. When a sinister spell transforms a group of bikers, known as the Devil's Advocates, into murderous werewolves, it is up to a spiritual biker, Taro Dewsbury, to save the day. The movie is a pretty decent horror exploitation film about a group of bikers who are werewolves. Werewolves on Wheels is a 1971 American exploitation film directed by Mitchell Levesque and starring Stephen Oliver, DJ Anderson, and Deuce Barry. It blends two genres, the outlaw biker film and the traditional horror film. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't done that yet. There will be more movies coming up in the next video, so stay safe and keep watching. Watch out.